Hey all, welcome to ShareTreck. This is Raj here. Today I thought I'll do something different. The last 2 days I've been doing some analysis and publishing a bit of detailed videos. Today I wanted to establish more of an interaction between the viewers and me. Many times when we put comments and when I put replies to those comments, it's limited by the fact that we can just put words there and the feelings behind that and context is never that clear. So I thought let's go through the last so many comments and have a quick chat. And wherever I find a comment where I would like to say something more than what I have said or where I have not answered, I would like to talk about that. Let's get started. Welcome back, friends. So the very first one I see here is from our good old friend Michael Mathoff. And he is saying, thanks very much, Raj, for your work. My trading position is back in my portfolio, so I'm fine. PC Canadian ESSA Pharma has a great run. So Michael always brings up very interesting companies. And I have to check this out because I don't even know this company. So I'll check it out, Michael. And then we have Anirban Ghosh who says, thanks for the great video, Raj. I cashed out my CRSP stocks for profit at 60, but now I want to get back in. I've been a holder for 14 months plus and stuck through the dog days of 38 to 40 SP. I believe in the company and especially the management. And I'm scared that if I don't get back in soon, I'm going to miss the upside from ER in February and TBT approval in March and CashJV sales reports later in the year. What a conundrum. I think all of us get into that, Anirban. As I said, I had the same experience with NVIDIA. I had the same experience with FNGU. I made big sums of money last year on both of them. I thought I was smart when I sold them, but I never found an opportunity to re-enter. And I was a bit stubborn that I would re-enter both NVIDIA and FNGU only if it goes equal to or less than my purchase price. And I never got that opportunity, but I bought FNGU back again at a higher than the price that I sold it at, and I made some profits. But right now, my FNGU is in loss, just a marginal loss. So hopeful for the best. All of us go through this situation. It's very difficult to time the market. You never know. And as they say, a bird in hand is worth two on bush. So I think that you have the money in your hand. The only way you could look at it is that instead of buying 100 shares that you had earlier, you may end up buying 50 or 60 shares. But what you're interested in is the price differential. You bought it for 10, you're selling it for 15, and you're pocketing $5 minus cost of transaction. That's the way I would look at it. And then it doesn't give that much of a heartburn. And then we have, for over a month, I've been buying when it goes down. Shane Olson says, for over a month, I've been buying it when it goes to 60 or lower, waiting for 62.5 and selling. Also in another account, buying at 61 and 62 and selling at 65 and 67. It has paid for my latest trip to Vegas. Also bought some of my Roth IRA, some for my Roth IRA. So the Canadian viewers, Roth IRA is like our TFSA that we have here. It's a tax-free account. After they stopped trading, I bought on November 2nd and sold after they were approved. I also agreed to the $100 by the end of this year. So it's very nice, Shane. You're making good money out here. But yeah, nothing is a sure thing, Shane. You have to be alert when you have money in the market, especially genomic stocks are high risk. But yeah, I really like to see that you have made money. It's encouragement for the rest of us here. Then Joseph Savala says, I hope it goes down more so I can buy more shares. So I like this attitude basically because many people start worrying, oh, the share price is going down. But if you believe in a company and you see the share price going down, you should be happy because you can buy more of what you believe in, knowing fully well that it's going to bounce back. And as I always generally mention, you may have the perfect value for a company, you might have evaluated it, but you will never find the share price to be equal to what you valued the company to be using whatever methodologies. Because the price of the company is determined by logical and illogical actors using sophisticated and gambling-like methods to buy and sell shares. So that's what sets the aggregate price in the market, which is what we are responding to. So it's absolutely foolhardy to be able to time the market. But averaging cost down, like dollar cost averaging down in a really good stock where you have good value, that definitely is a safer bet. So yeah, what I like to do is when I have the share and if it starts going down, I like to be in a position where I have sold covered calls so that my covered call is getting more value. And I would also like to buy at a lower price if it's a good company. Like for example, CRISPR, I'll definitely go in. But then I have a limited budget for genomics. From my whole portfolio, there's a small section for genomics. And it's not because I don't believe in genomics, not at all. I believe 100% in genomics. But you have to have diversification, or else if one industry goes down, you're wiped out. And as you grow older, all these risk mitigation measures are very, very important. That's what I think. So if I look at my overall portfolio, I don't have too much to play around with. So cheaper stocks like Bluebird and all, yeah, I can do a little more. But then with cheaper stocks, you have higher volatility. So it's all a trade-off. So Jose Zavala, all the best to you. And Jesse Isaacson, okay. Jesse says, I sold half my Tesla at 234. I'll start moving back in below 200, but only little bits. Yeah, I agree. I was here listening to Dan Ives this morning in one of those channels. I think it was a Long Island channel, somebody, his classmates or whatever, or town people. So he was having the discussion with them. Dan Ives is totally sold on Tesla. And he thinks that their technology and everything is so way ahead of others that regardless of the shortcomings of Elon Musk, the company is going to do well. So yeah, if it goes below 200, it should be an opportunity. I am at a deep loss. I am almost 40% down on Tesla, and it's around 36% of one of my portfolios. So I have five different portfolios, and in one of them, this is 36%, and it's fallen down almost 40% in value. So I'm very unhappy with the way Tesla stock is moving. But yeah, I don't know how I bought it so expensive. I didn't get out in time. And unfortunately for me, I buy Tesla in the Canadian depository receipt side, which is hedged to US dollars. As a result of which, I don't have the option to sell calls. If I had the option, I would have sold covered calls as soon as possible. I would be a happy camper now. So good luck, Jesse. I hope you make good profit. And then we have Michael Methoff saying, thanks, Raj. Predictions for biotech stocks are very difficult for the short term. Yes, for every stock, it's very difficult, and especially for biotech stock. Now, even if you look at a stock like NVIDIA, it's a new industry, this AI industry, and there is a lot of hype around it. At this point of time, the valuations are scary, but who knows how high they can go. So that's a separate case for it. I have reached out to our old friend, John from Arizona. If you recollect, John and I had worked on options trading video. So John is very much into AI. In fact, he has got his own new podcast with an AI co-host. And I have heard his podcast. It's amazing. It's called Happily Retired Ever After. And I have requested John to join me to discuss the prospects of AI. What are the use cases out there? How big is the industry? And who are the players? So we'll be having a discussion. You can expect that in another 30 days or so, because Arizona is in a different time zone and Toronto is in a different time zone. And of course, now John also has his podcast. He's busy. So we'll find some time to collaborate, and then we'll have a video for you on AI. So coming back to what Michael was saying, yes, it's very difficult to predict for short term. Thanks for the understanding, Michael. And then Ranjit5769 says, what do you mean it may go down in Feb, March due to elections and recover after that? Didn't get that. So Ranjit, basically what I have seen is there is some data out there which shows that if you take all the election years in US and look at the market trends, in 73% of the election years, the share market has been at the bottom in February, March timeframe, and it has done extremely well at the end of the year. So you can imagine it's starting off January at a higher level, then dropping down in February and March, and then coming up towards the end of March and then continuing to go up. This is my impression. So that is one of the things I was mentioning out there. It's not a sure thing. It's just a historical statistics. So if 73% of the time it happened, it's more likely than not that this year also February and March may be the low points of the year, after which it might take off. But then there is a 23% of the time when that did not happen, when the market just went straight up. So it's a matter of chance, and because we cannot predict how the entire market is going to behave, we employ various tools. One of them is technical analysis, the other is fundamental analysis, and then we do industry-wide comparison. We look at rotations to do day trading and all that. Technicals and rotations can give you that advantage. And then we also fall back on statistics, historical statistics. And if you look at mutual funds, it says past performance doesn't guarantee future results. The same way, there is no guarantee, but it kind of gives you a window of where the chips have fallen over a period of time at a particular point of time for a particular criteria. So that's where I was coming from. Hope you understand that, Ranjit. Jesse Isaacson says, I bought calls on CRSP. He had a strike price of 95 for 15th March 2024. Jesse, I had seen those strike prices. I didn't want to go for anything less than 100, so I was not able to. Bring myself to put a covered call. And he says, Jesse says, I paid 135 and they're selling for 0.72 cents now, losing money. LOL. So I would advise Jesse that when the time comes, if you have to sell the shares, do a cost benefit analysis and see whether it will be worthwhile for you to buy and close the position instead of losing your shares. That's one thing I would like to mention for you to consider. Of course, it's your decision. But as I said here, betting against CRSP was not a good idea. And then Badr Ahmed says, I believe when shares go down, it's prudent to buy more to reduce your losses. And very soon, I believe it will go up. Will be able to make more profits and recover from your current loss. The future is CRSP Cas9. So Badr Ahmed, I think I would differ from you out here, and it's a very big difference, Badr. I hope I'm able to explain it to you. That's one of the reasons why I wanted to do this video, because it's not possible to explain nuanced details in a comment. It will become too long. So I disagree with you on the entire comment, and I'm not, please take this in the positive way. I'm really glad that you commented, and I want to share my experience with you. And I'm the first one to say that I might be wrong, you may be right, but this is how I look at it. It's very difficult to time the market. So when the shares are going down, it's all a relative position. Suppose you were introduced to a share when it was quoting at 120. Anything below 120 seems like down to you, and anything above 120 will seem like up to you. So that is a very relative concept. And that brings me to the question of timing the market. Timing the market has been a fool's job because it's been very difficult for most people to time the market. The best you could do is dollar cost averaging. So I'm thinking that you are saying dollar cost averaging, and I would agree to dollar cost averaging provided the stock is good, like CRISPR Therapeutics. However, in the horizon, you are seeing an equity dilution or something like that coming, or an earnings call coming where news could be iffy. You don't do the dollar cost averaging at that time. You try to sell a covered call and cover yourself and wait for it. That's how I would play it. So that was one point of disagreement. The point of agreement is that, yes, you would be able to make more profits and recover if you buy at a lower price as it falls down and then start selling at a higher price when it comes up. The other place where I disagree is the future is CRISPR-Cas9. No, I don't think the future is CRISPR-Cas9. The future is beyond CRISPR-Cas9 according to me. And beyond CRISPR-Cas9 is prime editing, Chardonnay, and base editing. And there are other Cas proteins also that are coming up apart from Cas9. And there's a reason for that, because double-strand cuts are known to cause problems. And off-base edits are also there. The accuracy factor is also there. So when you go to base and prime editing, it's much more accurate, doesn't make double-strand breaks, and it's very, very precise and specific. So I would say that, in fact, in my video, latest video on CRISPR Therapeutics, I had made a comment that for CRISPR Therapeutics to maintain its lead in sickle cell disease therapy and TDT, they have to immediately start working on a base edited version of Casgevy. So that was my point of view, and I hope that is possible. And if they don't do that, somebody else is going to do that, and that will be a much less risky kind of therapy, so they may lose their competitive edge. So that was my thought. So Badr Ahmed, so please take it in that in a constructive way. I didn't mean to knock down your comment or anything. You are equally an experienced investor, and I appreciate what you're trying to say here. This was my part of it. So that said, let's go and have a look at Anirban Ghosh. So great video, Raj. These daily summary and forecast videos are so helpful for TA novices like me. Is it too much to ask from you to make these daily videos a regular thing going forward? Thanks again. Yes, Anirban. Actually, one of our oldest subscribers has been always saying that, Raj, you had to continue this. But against his advice, I had stopped doing it. And I lost touch of the market. And probably he also stopped watching much of my videos. So I'm back again into this for good. And I think that I'm also learning technical analysis because you get stuck to certain things. Like, for example, my favorite go-to is the cup and handle pattern. Then we look at the exponential moving averages, resistance lines, and we look at support lines and the like. Then we look at RSI, and then we look at MACD. It may seem like a lot, but it's not much. There are a lot more tools available in technical analysis. So my plan is that in 2024, I'll try to test out at least 2 or 3 new technical analysis tools. And once I understand that, I'll start using it in our technical analysis and see how it goes. Because at the end of the day, however much analysis you do, I think that it's an irrational market out there. The market has never been rational. It can overreact to bullish or bearish news or a perceived bad news. Sometimes you don't know that the good news has already been priced in. So when the good news actually gets announced, there is a sellout. All those things happen in the market. So I'll be the first one to admit that I personally am never sure whether I'm in sync with the market or not. Because the real art of making profits in the stock market would be to be in sync with the stock market's psychology. And I can't find any tools better than technical analysis at this point of time, but technical analysis falls way short because it only shows you what has already happened. And everything that we are looking in technical analysis is a reflection of the past. So from that perspective, I wouldn't put too much stock on technical analysis, but I would always take it as something that gives an idea of what is most likely to happen going forward, but it's not a given. So you may have a cup and handle pattern, but instead of breaking out and meeting the target, it can fizzle out. You may have a support line, and instead of bouncing off from the support, the price may fall down below that. So those kind of things happen. So that said, I'm really gratified, Anirban, that you felt that I'm adding value. I'm really happy about that. Thank you so much. And thanks for the positive comment. It helps motivate me. And then next, I have Anirban saying, haha, hello, Rafian, please lead us to profits and glory. Yeah. Actually, there is a thing behind Rafian and Corey. I have 2 dogs, and both of them are around 12 years old. And dogs generally have a lifespan of around 15. So both of them are older now. And earlier they used to be frisky, funny, and playful. But now both of them have health problems. And my Rafian is afraid of the wind. And we have these snowstorms and all happening. And he literally trembles. So we had to give him anti-anxiety tablets. And Corey has pancreatitis, so she has to be on medication and all that stuff. So off late, I find that they cling to me, and when it's not possible to keep them a little bit away from me, I have to bring them on the camera. Thanks for being tolerant and indulging Rafi and Corey. Yeah, they are wonderful dogs. I really love them, and they're amazing. Rafi is always with me in the studio. I have a bed in the studio, and he's always sitting in the bed, lying in the bed and looking at me. I don't know what he's thinking, but I'm happy that he's here. He's my good luck mascot. And then user U4 ST8U9P says, good afternoon. I'm completely in shorts. Do you think there is a chance of falling by 20% by summer? So that kind of horrified me. So I have the horrified emoji. And I said that diversification is important. No one can predict the markets accurately. In the past election years have seen drop in Feb and March and pick up after that. I believe in 73% of instances, if that happens, if we are in those 73%, you are safe. You'll get your chance in February, March. But if this year happens to be in the 23% of the years where it never dropped, but just kept going up, I think you're in trouble, my friend. So we don't know what's going to happen. It's never a sure thing because different people in market behave differently. And the aggregate of that is what we see in the price action. So I really feel for you, my friend, but be careful in the markets. Don't put everything. Risk management, diversification is very important. ShareTreck, the markets are already at historical highs. A strong correction is needed. There are no shortlists left in the market anymore. I admire your confidence. You're right, but timing it is absolutely difficult. There is a saying that goes that markets can stay overbought beyond your ability to stay invested, or the markets can stay low beyond your ability to stay invested. So markets are crazy. If you look at the theory for the RSI, under 30 it's oversold, so it has to go up, and under 70 it's overbought, so it has to go down. It doesn't always happen about that. I have seen stocks staying above 70% RSI for weeks at a stretch, or sometimes even for months. And also have seen shares below the 30% for quite a while. So anything can happen, my friend. So we are all learning here. Let us hope we get less painful and easy lessons. Cello 9425 says, hi Raj, thank you for the good work as usual. Have you understood why PSEB is in free fall? No, I still don't have a clue. I checked it. Their earnings were good. I'm still looking at it. If any of you guys have a clue why PSEB fell so much, the only thought I could come up with was that Illumina seems to have found its base. Illumina seems to be finding a favorable view in the market thanks to Grail disposal discussions, and the new CEO and the record-breaking sales that they have done, they announced recently, will also add to the catalyst. So I think money which was sitting in PSEB, which should have been in Illumina, is probably going out of PSEB back into Illumina, because given a choice, if you have portfolio allocation and you wanted to have a certain amount of money in genomic sequencing companies, and because Illumina was shaky and losing value, if you had put it all into PSEB, Oxford Nanopore, and Thermo Fisher and all, now would be the time when we'll be taking the money out and putting it back into Illumina before it picks up again. So that's something I suspect could have happened, but I can't guarantee that. Next question again from Anirban Ghosh. Thanks for the daily market recap and forecast videos, Raj. They are really helping me navigate these confusing times in the market. Keep up the amazing job. Thanks, Anirban. Yeah, but don't rely on me 100%, because I don't rely on me 100% either. I'm just giving you my thoughts the way it comes. I have always, when I invest, right, I always feel, I wish I could see how somebody else is investing, what they are thinking when they buy. And I never get that opportunity. And then when I look at YouTube videos, everyone who has a financial channel seems to be an expert. And they seem to talk as if they know what is going to happen, and they have the inside scoop, or they have access to some specific algorithms, which is very complicated, and they can divine it for us. So it has never worked for me. So that's the reason why in this channel, what I do is I tell you honestly that I'm just a regular investor like you, and I'm giving you insight into how I am thinking, and I'm hoping that you guys will start giving me feedback about how you are thinking and what you think about the market. For each of my daily videos, I would be really happy to receive comments from you. Even if you're not trading in genomics, put stuff there. What are you trading on? Because I always like new ideas. It's not that I only trade in genomics. A good portion of my portfolio is outside of genomics. But genomics is going to be the future. And AI is going to be a big area which we will ignore at our peril. So I want us to have AI also in our channel. So please start putting your comments under these videos on a daily basis, so I can get to learn from you guys as well. For instance, we had I think a comment right now from Cello 925 and the comment from user UQ4ST8UG9P. Now, all these kind of comments are very helpful because we are exchanging intelligence, and that will help us make better decisions, and we get a feel for at least that part of the market where our own fellow participants are. And INF, our good old INF, who is my co-host and who is doing his own programs every Monday, is Sandeep. Sandeep is INF, and he says, nice job on FNGU. Genomics looks nice, though I don't worry about dilution. As you said, dude, invite, though, ouch, oof. So Sandeep has his own way of doing something. And one of the reasons why Sandeep sometimes comments is for the algorithm. So Sandeep is a great supporter of the channel. He'll do something or the other to make sure there are some comments on the video, because the more comments we have in the video, the more the YouTube algorithm picks it up and we get more channel viewers to come in. So I thank Sandeep for that. He's been a great supporter. In fact, I met Sandeep through this channel. He was one of our early subscribers, and he was there regularly. I think that was when the channel just had 15 or 20 people. And then suddenly one day he disappeared for 15 or 20 days. So I reached out to him and I inquired how he's doing. And since then, Sandeep said, you know what, you are a content creator who cares. So, it's a special relationship. Since then, Sandeep has been a regular here. And now he also has a spot on our channel. And he's doing well with every subsequent video, because friends, doing a YouTube video is very difficult. Running a channel is difficult. Sitting in front of a camera, talking to people whom you have not seen, whom you don't know, and you don't know who's going to watch your video, what comment they are going to do. And you don't know whether your communication skills and the way you present stuff, the way you write the script and everything is going to be well received or not. So it's a huge learning curve. And friends like Sandeep, Jesse Isaacson, and John from Arizona, and Josh, and Michael Matoff, and all these people, and Ishkadish, they were all early subscribers who gave me a lot of confidence, gave me a lot of support to get me all the way up to this 5,000 plus subscriber status. So I really thank Inf and all of those supporters of ours, early adopters, and thanks for putting comments and making sure that our videos do well. So that is good. And then we have Inf again. I typed my comment and forgot to post. Then we have Derpa. He says, audio is sounding pretty good. Thank you very much, my friend. It really helped me. So here, this is the mic that I'm talking about. And so this is a Rode mic. One of that is a receiver which goes directly connects to the computer. And the other can sit inside my shirt. Like it can get clipped inside my shirt so that you don't see it, and it'll be like I'm talking to you. Now, the best thing about this is that there are software which are available in which I can use my camera or iPhone in any part of the house to transmit video to my computer, to the studio software. And then I can use Rode to transmit my audio to the studio software, and therefore it opens me up. I'm no longer logged into the studio. I could be in my backyard and record something. I could be in my living room and record something. I wanted that flexibility, but I still need to calibrate this. And friends, I'm the first one to admit that my voice is not that great. And on top of that, I was born and brought up in India. And even though I lived in the West for more than 25 years, I have still not lost my accent. So when you put those two things together, it becomes a bit challenging to do equalizer and other things and get really, really clear audio. And also I have my speech mannerisms. So thanks to all of you for bearing with me. And Derpa, I hope I spelled your name, pronounced your name properly. Thank you very much. That really helped me. I'm still working on making it even better. And of course, our good friend Josh is here. Josh, thanks, Raj. Just around 10:38 or so, you did something that improved the sound quality, I believe. Yes, Josh, thanks. I went and checked that out, but I really don't know what I did at that time. So I'm still fiddling around with it. What I have thought now is that instead of publishing on YouTube, I would play it on my computer. I'll do a lot of test recordings and play it on my computer whenever I get a chance and calibrate it and finalize something. I've downloaded a Rode software which allows me to calibrate more. So I'll play with that. Once I have good enough audio out there, I'll start using it. So that said, Inf says, we hear your wireless microphone, friendo. Yes, thanks, Inf. And Shane Olsen says, Saudi Arabia just approved CRISPR for Cas9. Yes, Saudi Arabia and also Bahrain. Both have approved. And I think Anirban also said that the same day, Anirban had said that, great job, Raj. Note that Saudi Arabia health authorities approved Cas9 overnight. So thanks to Shane and Anirban. They, apart from them, even Bahrain has approved. And when Saudi Arabia and Bahrain approve it, there is the Gulf cooperation countries where travel is free for visa holders of any of the GCC to move from one GCC to another for tourism purposes or for any other purposes, and nationals of GCC can move around. So I think that if Bahrain and Saudi Arabia have good outcome for Cas9, they'll definitely get people from Abu Dhabi, Dubai, and other places like Oman going to either Bahrain or Saudi Arabia for Cas9 treatment. And there's plenty of incidents out there. I had given statistics in my latest video on CRISPR. If you have not seen that, please have a look. And then Yasir MR5329 says, what about HIV? So friends, we have a slight problem here. We have HIV audience as well as genomics audience. And I can understand that HIV audiences are very anxious because they want a cure. But some are expecting to have HIV in everything. So that's not possible. We are a genomics investment channel. But I am planning in this year, in the next 3 or 4 months, I'm planning to separate out the HIV channel, and there'll be a separate HIV English channel. And friends, those of you who have been able to check out the ShareTreck channel, you will find that it now has French translations and it has got some Hindi. So we have got a couple of sections. The website still needs a better design and layout. So there is Ivan, YVAN, Ivan, I call him Ivan, who has started helping us. And he has his own translation company, but he's doing the work for us. He's translated a lot of my blog posts into French, and I have created a French section. So our blogs are appearing in French. I'm talking with Yvonne to see if we can do something for our videos as well. So if we take away the HIV component separately and do it in a separate channel, it will be the same like always. I do 2 videos a week for HIV. I will continue to do that, but instead of appearing on this channel, it will appear on the English channel. For HIV, it's a separate channel, and this channel will only have genomics investment, and that way we'll have a much better focus. And for people like Yasir and others, they won't have to worry about all the videos that I post and wondering, is there something about HIV in that? No, we'll take care of that. It'll be good experience for all our genomics viewers. As well as for the HIV viewers. So I'm going to do that. Please don't ask me when. I'm thinking of the first quarter to accomplish this. And hopefully that should happen by that time. And if I got more volunteers, I'm looking for someone with Spanish knowledge for the HIV side. I'll be really happy, and we can take it from there. Then we have JJDS5 FS. A lot of biotech companies are restructuring and narrowing down their pipeline to focus on the most promising products because they are getting short on cash. I agree 100% about that. And that's again a worrisome situation because they selected the possibly the high risk candidates for their portfolio, which is where we need to have a good CEO. And this is not the first setback for Allogene. Allogene has had many setbacks in the past. So that's the reason why I was a bit harsh on Allogene. If you study the history of Allogene, I think they're ex-Pfizer, and they had Kite Pharma, I think, therapies. So yeah, Allogene at this point of time doesn't seem that great. My point was that good companies proactively manage the risk when they still have a strong balance sheet. I gave the example of CRISPR, how they are managing their oncology platform. And someone was saying, can you provide update for herpes 1 and 2? No, I'm not going to talk about those things. This is a genomic investment channel, and in genomics, we have American Gene Technology, which is now going to become AdImmune, which is doing gene therapy basically to come up with a HIV cure. That's why HIV is here. We have Excision Bio, which may go into an IPO sometime in the future. We are watching it. It uses CRISPR-Cas9 to excise HIV out of the genes. So that's the reason why I covered HIV. And in this channel, when we cover a genomic company, we try to cover all the diseases that it addresses in its pipeline, and then look at how the therapy works on the disease, and what is the chances of its success and so on. So that's how we operate, and that's the reason why I ventured into HIV and hepatitis B. But it doesn't mean that I'm going to cover herpes and whatever else is there, because we don't have anything in gene therapy for those indications. If any of those indications come into gene therapies, then I will think about it. And that's what I would say, because there is no point just doing a video because you can. You should do a video when you know the topic. That's how I believe. And I know nothing about these diseases other than HIV, diabetes, heart disease, and cancers. Okay. That said, Jesse Isaacson says, let's hope our investment in CRSP does good this year. Yes, I am with that. The management is bullish. They have spoken about 12 to 18 months of catalysts. That's amazing when a management talks like that right off the bat in their speech. For 2024 outlook, expect fireworks. I'm going to expect a lot from CRISPR this year. Jesse Isaacson says, I think the Democrats want Trump on the ballot because he drives negative voter turnout. I agree. Some of them, like John Podesta, for example, is going around saying we need to have Trump on the ballot and people have to defeat him resoundingly. And I think it's a very harebrained idea, because as long as Trump is on the ballot, there is going to be a lot of incentive to stop the count. There's going to be a lot of incentive to say that the election was rigged right from the upfront. And if he wins, then he will say all the places where I won, it was fine, but the places where I lost, that was rigged. And he will go after all those election officials and all those candidates out there. So it's a no-win situation. The best thing is for the courts to resolve and put a stop to it right away, or else the next election will have a lot of problems during the counting and also during voting. You'll have vigilantes with guns standing in various election places and all that. So Jesse, I think I differ from you. Honestly, I differ from you there. But what do I know? I'm not an American. I'm a Canadian. I don't know what happens in the US, but looking from outside in, that's what is happening. It looks scary, my friend. US is looking scary. So that's why I was prompted to make this video. Michael Mathoff says, thank you very much for the warning, Raj. It sounds not good. I sold my trading position, keeping my long-term position. Let's look for more information. But for the diabetes trial, it looks bad. So that is what Jesse Isaacson said about this Viasat collab. My point in the article was that, no, it's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. Because let me give you the story behind this whole VCTX211. So first, there was a company called Viasat. They created a pouch with beta cells, and they are getting the beta cells from a third party who was creating the beta cells for them. They came up with the membrane in which to pack those beta cells, and then they came up with a method in which they could implant it on top of the skin. I think they were putting it on the back of the patient or on the arm of the patient. And then what they found was it would be alive and functioning and bring diabetes under control for a period of time. And during that period of time, diabetes type 1 being an autoimmune disease, the body's immune system killed all the beta cells in that pouch, and the pouch became useless. So they had to periodically replace it. That's when they've heard about CRISPR therapeutics and the CRISPR-Cas9, and then they approached CRISPR-Cas9, signed an agreement to say, okay, let's develop VCTX211, which will be the same pouch, but there will be some kind of technology that CRISPR will bring into it so that they do not get killed by the immune system. So either cloak them, make them invisible, or you should make some modification and remove markers on beta cells, which the CD4 T cells are primed to attack, and protect it somehow. So that's why they entered into collaboration with CRISPR Therapeutics. And then ViaCyte came and took over Vertex. So Vertex is now a subsidiary of ViaCyte. So it doesn't matter. Vertex has shared the risk, and they paid money to CRISPR Therapeutics to do work on VCTX, which is in advanced clinical trials in Canada for type 1 diabetes. So there is very little left to be done, and CRISPR Therapeutics is willing to run with it and finish it off. They just have to give some royalties to ViaCyte. That's about it. So I think it's a good news for CRISPR Therapeutics, and I'm bullish about that, Jesse. That's what I meant to say. Vertex seems to have better option, so it will be hard for CRISPR option. It's only one part, but that doesn't sound good. I wonder the stock price hasn't reacted negative now. For my 30% trading position, not so good anyway. 70% is long term. So Michael, it's not going to go down because of the Vertex news, in my opinion. As I said in my video, it's a good thing for CRISPR Therapeutics. Josh says, thank you, Sandeep and Raj. I was not going to add an opinion until Sandeep mentioned retail. I hate retail, lol. My body and mind has a negative bias there. It's not necessarily logical. I just say yuck to retail even more than I say yuck to crypto. I am positively biased on to gold and silver. I try not to fight my emotion everywhere. May everyone make great money with retail without me. This market hobby sure is an endurance contest. It's like the grandest strategy game, a fully stocked casino, and a trade bazaar all in one. Thanks, Josh, for your comment. I hear you. And friends, I would like you also, like Josh, to encourage Sandeep with comments on his videos, because he's picking up now. I want Sandeep. Sandeep is really good with financial analysis. He's doing his CFA also. So I have been speaking to Sandeep for quite a while. I was impressed. That's why I called him on to do a feature for us. So please encourage him with your comments and interactions with him on his videos. I think he's doing a great job. Today, again, we are going to record a video on a company called Oracle. So that's what I would like to say. So friends, I have been speaking to you for a while now, and I think I should let you go. So that's what I wanted to say. So a big thanks to all our original subscribers, our members, our Patreons, as well as all the die-hard supporters of ShareTreck who have been with us, who have been commenting, giving us motivation. Thanks a lot. We'll keep this going in 2024. A very happy new year to all of you. Bye for now.